Welcome back to another three-pointer. Hopefully you've been enjoying the content this month as we've been discussing some retention strategies, which are my favorite, given, I'm kind of a specialist with that. Today, we are going to be talking about making your communications stand out. And we're going to do that by making them consistent. Now, I know you've heard me talk about this, but it definitely bears repeating. You've got to be consistent with your communications with your clients or your members so that they know what to expect. Pretty simple, I think. But it is pretty shocking how inconsistent most organizations are. So we have to make this point today. Um, there's a few ways you can do that. You can schedule your content. A content calendar comes in handy very well. I use one for a few different things. These particular videos and my content that I share on LinkedIn. Content calendars are great, and there's a bunch of them out there. There's several variations of them. You can get a really pretty neat one from online or maybe from HubSpot, I'm sure, and that you can have it in an actual calendar form, or you can kind of do what I do and just use a single page on Word. And that way you can kind of see the whole thing however you want to. But a content calendar is very useful there for planning your communications and making sure that they're consistent. Another way is by scheduling your messaging. Some softwares have this, even like text messages, email clients have those. I know Gmail has scheduled messages. I use them all the time. They're wonderful. That way you don't forget to send out emails or texts. Or I just saw today actually that Instagram is going to start using the ability to schedule some of your stories, or at least from a third party app you can schedule through the Instagram interface. So that's coming down the line. But yeah, that's your first point for today, is making sure that your communication is consistent. Number two today is making sure that your communication is relevant. This is a tough one. And relevancy is really just a matter of being timely. Is it timely? Is it current? And is it actionable? There's a lot of communications that go out from organizations that's just not that relevant. It's not really actionable. It's just kind of informational, which can be valuable, but it's usually not. So I would definitely err on the side of caution with your content and your communications, and make sure that it stays timely, current. It's something that you're communicating to your clients or your members that they can do something with immediately. That's golden. Um, Number three today is making sure that your communication is valuable. Okay, and there is a difference between relevant and valuable. Remember, relevancy is about time. Valuable is simply about meaning. And is your communication geared toward your client and enhancing the relationship with your client? Is the communication you are sending, does it really pertain to them versus you? Is it talking about some kind of value that they can get, not value that you can get as the provider of this communication and whatever it is your business or your organization provides? Remember, it's always about the client. I stress that all the time. And it's a little bit tricky to get that perspective right. That's why I stress that, though. You've got to make sure that your content, your communication is geared toward the perspective of your client. It's not about your organization pushing something so much as it's saying, hey, this is something that we offer to you guys, and it's entirely in your benefit to utilize it. So that's your third point for today, making sure your communication is valuable. Just to recap real quick, make your communication consistent, use a calendar, make it relevant, and by ensuring that it's timely information, and make it valuable by making sure that it's geared toward your client or your members. So that is your 3 point for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next week.